Today we are going to talk about idea generation. Idea generation is a 6th grade standard, generating ideas. In 7th grade, it turns into applying strategies to overcome creative blocks. And you'll see that there are some examples of ways you can do that, such as redefining the problem, viewing from a different perspective, taking a break, and looking at other people's work. So on next time I see you, we are going to be generating ideas for our final project. You guys will be drawing a 3-dimensional space and then adding something to it that makes it more interesting. So it's not just a hallway or just a room, but there are clues that something is going on. Coming up with an idea can be the hardest part. So I want to share with you the idea that I had to come up with recently and what I did to get an idea. So I took a painting class last semester and it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. I painted a lot of cool things, but I got bored with the fact that we were just reproducing photographs. So I'm taking a class with the same person this semester and decided that I was going to take the topics he was having us do, and instead of just finding a picture of that topic and copying it, I was going to start creating some of my own images, which means I've got to generate a lot of ideas. So the first topic he gave us was food or animals. And I really wanted to do food because it's for a fundraiser. So I went home and I started generating ideas. So the basics of idea generation, before I get into how I came up with mine, there's some important things to remember. There's no such thing as a bad idea, so long as nobody's getting hurt. And when we're in art, we're talking about visual ideas, things we're going to draw, things we're going to paint, things we're going to sculpt. There is no such thing as a bad idea. Some ideas are better than others. Don't be afraid to get silly with your ideas, because there's no such thing as a bad idea, and ideas lead to other ideas. Sometimes you have to stop, you just have to stop thinking about it for a second as well, so your brain can start processing things. I did all of this. So for the food, I was like, well, I'm a vegetarian and I would like to make a statement about that. So I just started writing anything that came to my mind when I thought about food or vegetables. Vegetables that make something, images inside of fruit, make the canvas look like a slice of food, so the painting itself looks like food. Food that creates design with color. I even started drawing arrows to different ideas. Plants equal, like sun plus earth plus water equals plants, and animals are sun and earth and water once removed because they eat the plants, right? And then people are twice removed from the sun and earth and water. This is just like a quick little mind map. You don't have to understand it necessarily, just know that this was one of my ways of trying to generate ideas. I even made charts of ideas. That would not be a very good painting, but again, it's me coming up with ideas and sorting them and trying to arrange them in a way that creates something that's interesting to look at. And then I continued. I still could not figure it out. Lately, what I've been eating a lot of, death growing into food, which got me thinking about all sorts of religious things, right? Decomposition being refreshing because it allows new things to grow. At this point, things get really abstract and maybe a little off topic, but again, there's no such thing as a bad idea. What my favorite spices are. Food is class. Class meaning like levels, right? Different levels of food. I made more charts So things are coming together a little better, but I'm still not happy with them, and they still don't look that great. Devour to Survive. This is a lyric from a song by a band that I really like. Started drawing pictures of people putting food in their mouths, and I just got really, really frustrated, right? I ended up, in fact, doing research about gardening in Flagstaff as part of this. And I couldn't get anywhere. So I left it. I said, you know what? Like, I spent a good 45 minutes writing down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pages of ideas. Just words and ideas, and I'm not sure what else I can do with this, so I went to bed. And it wasn't until I left school the following day that things really started making sense. I decided I wanted an animal that we would normally eat surrounded by vegetables that we would eat it with, and that's where I got the idea for beef and broccoli. So, and there's my beef and broccoli. So there's the whole canvas is a plate. There is a cow, which is the beef. There's water in the background, which is actually going to be a garlic sauce. Broccoli, which are trees, and then some rice grass. So eventually I came up with an idea, and what it took was a lot of brainstorming and seeming like I wasn't getting anywhere, but knowing that I was really just getting my juices flowing because ideas lead to other ideas. Not being happy with what I was coming up with, but also remembering that there's no such thing as a bad idea, and that eventually I would get an idea that was better than what I was doing. And then I took a break and stopped thinking about it for a second so my thoughts would have time to settle. And as I left school one day, beef and broccoli just kind of popped into my head. So next time we meet, you guys are going to begin generating an idea for a one-point perspective drawing that you're going to add something to. These are some examples from previous years. So we've got some outside stuff going on inside of a hallway. We have a room. We've got this ceiling that bends. They took a risk. They changed what was going on with the ceiling. A hallway that leads to outside. This one's actually really cool. It reminds me of like the food court in the mall, right? So start thinking about your ideas now. This one looks like it's sideways, but it's supposed to be this way. Start thinking about your ideas now. You're gonna create a three-dimensional space and do something to it to make it not just a hallway. Make it look like something's going on. See ya.